I began keeping a diary, written on toilet paper and hidden beneath a loose floorboard in my room. I documented everything, names of visitors, dates, transactions I overheard. If I ever escaped, I wanted evidence. I wanted justice.
Hey, I'm Baby T, the baddest storyteller on YouTube. Sit tight, because this gist will blow your mind.
One night, I overheard Mr. Koroma on the phone. The new girl is popular with the clients. Yes, we have buyers interested. Dubai or Saudi, whichever pays more. We'll need new papers for her. They were planning to traffic me out of the country. I had days, maybe hours, before I'd disappear forever. I knew I had one chance to escape, one. One of the drivers had a phone. A kind-eyed man named Ibrahim who sometimes sneaked me extra food. I begged him in tears to let me borrow it, just for 5 minutes. They'll kill me if they find out, he said. They'll kill me if you don't, I replied. He handed me the phone, looking away as if to deny his own complicity. I called the only number I knew by heart, my old school principal. Through sobs, I told him everything. He listened. Then he said, "Don't worry. We are coming." The next 48 hours were the longest of my life. I continued cleaning, cooking, serving, all while knowing my fate hung in the balance. Every car that passed made my heart race. Every knock at the door made me jump. Madame Fatou noticed my nervousness. "What's wrong with you, girl?" she demanded, grabbing my chin. "You look guilty." "Nothing, madam," I whispered. "Just tired." That night, I warned the other girls to be ready. To stay together. What if no one comes? Aissatou asked, her voice small. I had no answer. Just hope. Desperate, fragile hope. 2 nights later, I heard shouting.
Hi. My name is Baby T, and I tell the craziest, wildest stories you've ever heard. So you better like this video and subscribe right now, before I go and tell my mama about you. What are you waiting for? Let's get back to the story.
Men in uniform. Guns drawn. Lights flashing. Police. The house was stormed. The woman was arrested screaming. The man tried to jump the fence, but was caught. They found 3 other girls locked in a room upstairs. We were taken to a shelter. Given blankets. Food. Safety. For the first time in months. I felt human again. My principal was there, tears in his eyes as he hugged me. I called everyone I knew, he said. Police, NGOs, human rights activists. I showed them where the house was on a map. I learned later that the police had been watching the house for weeks. My call had been the final evidence they needed to act. A week after the rescue, social workers took me back to my village. My parents stood outside our mud house, looking smaller than I remembered. When they saw me, my mother fell to her knees, wailing. My father couldn't meet my eyes. "We thought he was telling the truth," my father mumbled. "We thought you'd have a better life." "You sold me," I said, my voice steady. "For less than what some people pay for a phone." I couldn't forgive them that day. Maybe someday, but not then. The social worker explained that they wouldn't face charges if they agreed never to sell any of my siblings. They signed the papers with trembling hands. I said goodbye to my brothers and sisters, promising to send for them when I could. When I had built something better.
Now before we continue, if you have watched up until now, it is because you enjoyed the story. Please be kind enough to give this video a like, drop your comments, and subscribe for more interesting stories like this. Now back to the story.
Their crimes were worse than I imagined. They ran a human trafficking ring, trading girls for and video content. The trial made headlines. $500 girl leads police to bust West Africa exploitation ring. I testified behind a screen, my voice the only part of me visible to the courtroom. I read from my toilet paper diary, now entered as evidence. They were sentenced to 40 years. The ledger I found led to more raids, more rescues. 17 more girls were found in houses across West Africa. Some had been missing for years. But nothing could give me back what I lost. The shelter became our home. Me, Amy, Fatmata, and Aisatu, plus the 17 other girls rescued because of the evidence we provided. We attended therapy together. Learned to trust again, slowly. Some nights, the nightmares would come, and we'd hold each other until morning. A French documentary filmmaker heard about our case. She came to interview us, to tell our stories to the world. People need to understand that modern slavery isn't just history, she told us. It's happening every day, to children just like you. The documentary, The $500 Girls, won awards. Raised awareness. Changed laws. But more importantly, it changed us. From victims to survivors. From voiceless to powerful. Today, I live in Ghana with a foster family that loves me. I've gone back to school, top of my class in literature and civic studies. My foster mother is a teacher. My foster father, a doctor. They have 2 biological children who treat me like a sister. We have dinner together every night, talking, laughing, healing. I'm studying for university entrance exams. I want to become a human rights lawyer. I give talks at high schools now, warning girls never to believe the red jeep, or the soft voice, or the promise of a better life. Because sometimes, that promise comes with chains. Last year, I started a foundation called Nia's Promise, helping girls at risk of trafficking stay in school. We've funded scholarships for 50 girls so far, including my own sisters. My little phone video testimonial went viral, 12 million views in a week. Donations poured in from around the world. I appeared before the United Nations. Told my story to world leaders. A child is not property, I said into the microphone, my voice no longer shaking. A child cannot be bought or sold. Not for $500. Not for $5 million. I received a standing ovation. But the real victory was seeing my words translated into policy changes in 6 countries. My name is Nia Kamara. They bought me for $500. But they didn't break me. I am more than what they paid. And if you're watching this thinking your story ends with pain, remember this. The girl they buried in silence is now using her voice. Some nights, I still dream of that red jeep pulling up to our house. I still feel the weight of that moment when my life was assigned a price tag. But then I wake up. I am free. I am educated. I am powerful. And most importantly, I am making sure no girl ever has to say, "He bought me from my parents for $500.